Alright, hello, welcome back to another My Team episode. And as you can see, there was a season break, but I skipped that. But here we are for the first race after the season break, which is the Belgian Grand Prix. Now, our upgrades did come in, and we are now ahead of AlphaTauri, Aston Martin, and Williams. So, we also got 3 mil in the bank, so we're going to be making a lot of upgrades in our facilities. We're spending a lot. Just rinse that money, but this will come into play. So yeah, we're focusing on the second half of the season now, which I'm really excited for. But yeah, without further ado, let's get to it.
Welcome along then to the Belgian Grand Prix, the race that gave us the maiden victory for the Jordan team back in 1998. And in the same team, the phenomenal debut of a young Michael Schumacher. There's always something special just around one of the many corners of this fan favourite circuit. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. Sergio Perez lines up alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Russell, Hamilton, Valtteri Bottas, and Leclerc, Fernando Alonso, Ocon, Sainz, and Sebastian Vettel. Norris, Magnussen, they've taken a grid penalty. Mick Schumacher and Stroll. Ricciardo, they'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Latifi, Pierre Gasly, they've taken a grid penalty. And Yuki Tsunoda. Oscar Piastri, Joe, Albon, and Surfer Boy. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway.
Well then, so many people have taken grid penalties. That caught me by surprise. It's still going to be sunny and that. Okay, so there's going to be a bit of cloud, and then it's just going to be sunny. So it's going to be a dry race, as expected. So, you know the drill. We don't have a setup, but we'll just rock out with that. Anyway, let's go!
The formation lap gets underway, and every driver will be looking to settle in for the race ahead, making sure that their car is ready for the battle once the lights go out. As the cars come back towards the grid to line up for the start of the race, each driver will be wanting to get the best start they possibly can, and they'll be hoping to finish today's race on the podium, failing that, within the points.
Alright, here we go then. We're going maximum attack. 5 lights! And we are underway. We get a pretty shocking start. Tsunoda, on the other hand, getting a flyer. So is Alex Albon. We're going to send it down the first corner. Just about. Pretty solid start. Our teammate behind, side by side with Albon. Meanwhile, we're going into Eau Rouge, side by side with Daniel Ricciardo. Who's going to go on the brakes? We're going to yield. Ricciardo's going to take 15th. Meanwhile, Stroll behind us with that straight line speed. And Nicholas Latifi. The 2 Canadians are battling it out. Oh, God. It's not going to end well. Meanwhile, Ocon and Sainz up ahead. side by side. We're just holding the pack up. We're gonna absolutely dive bomb into the... I don't even know what corner this is. On Ricardo. Going a bit wide. We're trying to give Ricardo the chance now. We're gonna block the door though. And hopefully just about hold off Ricardo. It just looked like it. So far, so good.
Focus now for the rest of the race.
Not much really happening. Verstappen sets the fastest lap as he leads the way. We're gaining on Gasly now. We're going to send it into the first turn, and Magnussen as well. But the job is not done yet. As he just flies past heading into Eau Rouge. We're going to let him go past. Pierre Gasly now. Thinking of making a penultimate move as he's literally stuck behind us. We're going to try and send it on Magnussen. And we make it work. And Gasly thinking of making the move as well. And there's a yellow flag up ahead. And Sainz is on the gravel. Carlos Sainz beats it in the gravel there.
Green flag.
He looks to be out of there. And he is. Now how has that happened? We're right behind Alonso now. Getting a decent exit. We're going to use our ERS and think of making a move.
Okay, they're slowing down. It seems like there's some kind of...
They're going to go around the outside like Max Verstappen and Felipe Nasser. Can we make it stick? And we do. Just about. And we're up into the points. Meanwhile, our engine is saying that Ocon appears to be having an issue up ahead. Which is going to be interesting.
You're in the top 10 now. Keep it up.
There's a yellow flag ahead. What's going on now? Has someone else beached it? Bottas beached it in the gravel again, and he has an engine failure along with it. Whoa. That's very unfortunate for Valtteri Bottas though. And he's out of the session. It looked like he beached on the gravel, and then as soon as he comes out, engine failure. That is very painful for him. I don't know. Meanwhile, we are gaining on Vettel. As Vettel is gaining on Ocon. Schumacher up ahead in 6th, pulling away from us 3. So he's going to be comfortable. We're going to use a bit of our battery here to try and gain on these 2. And it seems to be working. Look at the straight line speed. We are literally catch up to Sebastian Vettel. We're going to think of making a move on the inside of bus stop chicane. We go into the back of Ocon, which wasn't ideal. We seem to be getting a decent exit. Can we think of making a move up Eau Rouge side by side? Oh, we're still side by side now from Eau Rouge. This is going to be spicy. DRS and ERS. We're going to go on the inside. Here comes Sebastian Vettel now joining the party. Bang tires. And we make the move stick. Just about. And we're up into 7th place.
Brilliant. Nice move. Keep going.
And I think the Ferrari and the Mercedes are going to follow them as well. Yeah. Everyone's coming into the pits now. We're going to join them. Hopefully they don't fuck up our stop.
And it looks like the pit crew are out in the lane and ready to perform their magic on the car. They're going to be aiming to achieve the fastest pit stop time possible.
Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound.
Alright. No problems with our start. Pretty good start. We come behind Esteban Ocon, who has to pit at some point. We're going to be on ice cold tyres. They are literally on 72%. But they are going to heat up eventually. We pretty much got a full tank of ERS, which will be very helpful later on, hopefully. And yeah, when we get into some battles, which I'm pretty sure we will. Norris is really gaining on us now. Rapidly. Going into Eau Rouge now. Norris will have DRS, but we have a tank of ERS and we're going to use that, and this, I knew this was going to come into play because here comes Lando Norris on our outside. We're going to squeeze past, close the door and hold 7th place. Norris might have to deal with Magnussen, who is quite fast as well.
Gaining on you by 5/10 a lap.
On lap 21 now, Magnussen is right behind us. And he's thinking of making a move up into Eau Rouge. What the fuck? I did not see that coming. Luckily we have a full tank and he has DRS as well. Oh my god. Can we try and catch? Yeah, it doesn't look like we can catch up. Masterclass move from Magnussen there. Both Hasses looking very strong. Magnussen slow at the corner.
We've got a lot of spare energy. Okay to use your overtake button.
We're going to try and save the tank as much as we can and try to use it. Vettel is starting to gain on us now. Max Verstappen setting the fastest lap of the race. And look at that gap between Verstappen and the rest of the field. Absolutely mental. Deploying our ERS, we're going to try and gain as much and then be in DRS range. So we are gaining so much on Magnussen. Alright, here we are then. About to start our final lap.
Okay, this is your final lap of the race.
Need to get a good exit out of here. Pretty solid. Magnussen pulling away though. That straight line speed is absolutely crazy. But we saved up our battery and we have DRS. So this is going to help us massively. Hopefully we can get him by the end of this straight. We are gaining though. Can we think of making a move? We're going to go for it. Side by side. Round the outside of Kevin Magnussen now. For 7th. All we need to do is just hold him off. It looks like we got the job done. Max Verstappen crosses the line to win the Belgian Grand Prix and takes the fastest lap. So, looks like it's maximum points for Max Verstappen now, this race, unless someone else can take the fastest lap away from him. So it's looking very unlikely now. Round the final corner and passing the bus stop section, we come to finish 7th.
Alright, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
Many doubted whether they could pull off the win here at Spa-Francorchamps, but they've done so in spectacular style. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today? Red Bull put up an outstanding fight for the front position today, and it's great to see it paid off for them. They do so much for the sports that you can't help but be delighted by today's race win. Charles Leclerc, currently leading the championship standings, extends his lead even further with this result. Let's have a quick look at how the drivers' standings have changed. Some amazing talent out on the track today, but Anthony, who would you pick as your driver of the day?
I have to give it to Surfer Boy. They demonstrated a very delicate touch in close proximity to other cars, as well as showing a lot of maturity and patience in difficult situations.
Let's move on to the constructors. No change in the top spot then, but with today's points, their hold on that lead is getting weaker. Meanwhile, good work from Aston Martin this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. It's been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula One action, and I can't wait to see what's next.
Well done. Leclerc extends his championship lead, but Max Verstappen is gaining on him, and he switches to second in the Drivers' Championship, and now the gap is now 28 points. We move up into 11th in the standings, and that is good on us. Oscar Piastri at the bottom. So yeah. We could possibly get 7th or higher, but we are gaining on Alfa Romeo, and it is looking very good. But yeah, pretty solid race. Getting points, especially from starting at the back. Not much more to say from that. Pretty good. Simply lovely.